Omega is SMAC's flagship product, and it is designed to provide decision support to staff and commanders across all echelons, from the highest level down to the tactical edge. The best way to think about that, as it's in support of the general staff, is operating in different time verticals, 3 specific time verticals. In that first time vertical, it's receiving higher headquarters directives, guidance. It's then collating that information with a larger understanding of what's happening in the operational battle space. And it works with the user, the staff, and the commander to take that higher headquarters order, do problem framing, and with that initial planning, ultimately produce a concept of operations, also known as a CONOP. The next time vertical takes that and says, okay, awesome. We're now going to cycle on a 24-hour basis, or we're going to cycle on a 6-hour basis. And we're going to provide the staff and the commander the opportunity to refine that larger CONOP on an iterative basis in execution. That ultimately ends up looking like a sync matrix more often than not. A map depiction, geospatial depiction, and a sync matrix that depicts these are the things that are happening, and here's what's happening into the future, and here's the assets that you're using to apply that. That last time vertical, you're in the now, you're in the execution mode. And in execution mode, the plan has already been set, the assets have been set, but now you're watching them happen. The system is assessing, are we on plan or are we off plan? And if we're off plan, are we off plan because we're having great success, or are we off plan because we're having failures that we didn't expect? And the system is positioned in a way to then give advice to the user, the commander, to say that if you're off plan and you're having catastrophic success, do you want to capitalize on that success and continue to drive home forward in a new plan? If you're having failures that you weren't expecting, then you're accepting risk. And so how do you mitigate that risk in a way that you can drive back onto what you originally intended? Or if you have to deviate wholly, then how do we best use the assets that continue to be available to create a new plan that ultimately leads to campaign success? In total, across all of those time horizons, what ends up being today multiple workflows within multiple different staff sections across hundreds of people lives as a continuous workflow inside of Omega, and that lives in a process that can continue to cycle as required.